Concepts of man. According to Roy, man is a biopsychosocial and spiritual being who is in constant contact with his environment. As a biologic being, man is like all other men. This is because all men have the same basic human needs. As a psychological being, man is like no other man. This is because man is a unique, irreplaceable, one-time being. No two persons are exactly alike. Man is a psychological being, has the following characteristics: rational but at times irrational, mature with a core of immaturity, with limited and unlimited nature, a being of contradictions, a being who is usually at the crossroads of indecisiveness. As a social being, man is like some other man. A group of people have common attributes that make them different from other groups. Some factors that characterize particular groups of people are culture, including belief, practices, norms, taboos, religion, language, age, groups, social status, educational status, etc. As a spiritual being, man is like all other men. All men are spiritual in nature. This is because all men have intellect and will. All men are endowed with virtues of faith, hope, and charity. All men believe in the existence of a supreme power who guides their fate and destiny, who is the source of meaning and purpose of life, to whom we seek console in case of difficulties in life, like in illness or hospitalization. According to Roy Still, man is an open system in constant interaction with a changing environment. An open system is one that allows input and output to and from its boundaries. One that allows exchange of or is constantly affected by matter, energy, and information. Number 3, according to Rogers, man is a unified whole composed of parts which are interdependent and interrelated with each other. The different organs and organ systems function together to achieve a particular purpose. Number 4, according to Rogers, man is composed of parts which are greater than and different from the sum of all parts. Man is greater than the sum of all his parts because he is not simply a composite of physiologic body parts. He is endowed with intellect, will, judgment ability, decision-making ability, talents, strengths, and other numerous enabling powers. Man is different from the sum of all his parts because at times his responses are predictable, but at times unpredictable. He is a creature of contradictions. Sometimes he responds favorably to some factors like food, medications, treatments, but at times responds differently, like developing diarrhea after eating a certain food, developing allergies to certain medications, or adverse reaction to treatments like surgery and anesthesia. According to Rogers, number 5, man is composed of subsystems and suprasystems. Man's subsystems are the cells, tissues, organs, and organ system. Man's suprasystems are his family, community, and the society. All of these subsystems and suprasystems affect man as a whole. When certain subsystem of man's body is affected, the entire body is affected. Man's family, community, and the society profoundly affect him in all dimensions, like a man's health practices and health care patterns are developed from the family. Number 6, according to Nightingale, man is an individual with vital reparative processes that deal with disease and is desirous of health, but passive in terms of influencing the environment or the nurse. Number 7, according to Henderson, man is a whole, complete, and independent being who has 14 fundamental needs. 2. These 14 are the following: breathe normally, eat and drink adequately, eliminate body waste, move and maintain desirable body posture, sleep and rest, select suitable clothing, dress and undress, maintain body temperature, keep the body clean and well-groomed, and protect the integument. Avoid dangers in the environment and avoid injuring others. Worship according to one's faith. Communicate with others. Work in such a way that there is a sense of accomplishment. Play or participate in various forms of recreation. And finally, learn, discover, or satisfy the curiosity that leads to normal development and health, and use available health facilities. Number 8, according to Orem, man is a unity who can be viewed as a functioning biologically, symbolically, and socially, who initiates and performs self-care activities on own behalf in maintaining life, health, and well-being. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of basic human needs. 1. Physiologic needs are as follows: oxygen, fluids, nutrition, body temperature, elimination, rest and sleep. Sex. Sex is not necessary for individual survival, but it is necessary for survival of mankind. 2. Safety and security needs, like physical safety, psychological safety, the need for shelter and freedom from harm and danger. Number 3. Love and belongingness, like the need to love and be loved, the need to care and be cared for, the need for affection, to associate or to belong, the need to establish fruitful and meaningful relationships with people, institution, or organization. 4. Self-esteem, like self-worth, self-identity, self-respect, body image. 5. Self-actualization, the need to learn, create, and understand or comprehend, the need to be self-fulfilled, the need for spiritual fulfillment, the need for harmonious relationship, and the need for beauty or aesthetics. Maslow's characteristics of a self-actualized person are the following. He is realistic, sees life clearly, and is objective about his or her observations, judges people correctly, has superior perception, and is more decisive, has clear notion to what is right or wrong, is usually accurate in predicting future events, understands art, music, politics, and philosophy, possesses humility, listens to others carefully, is dedicated to some work, task, duty, or vocation, is highly creative, flexible, spontaneous, courageous, and willing to make mistakes, is open to new ideas, self-confident, and has self-respect, has low degree of self-conflict, personality is integrated, respects self, does not need fame, and possesses a feeling of self-control, is highly independent, desires privacy, can appear remote and detached. He is friendly, loving, and governed more by inner directives than by society, can make decisions contrary to popular opinion, is problem-centered rather than self-centered, accepts the world for what it is. A self-actualized person is basically a mentally healthy person. According to Jehoda, the following criteria of a mentally healthy person are: the attitude of person towards himself is positive, that is, the person is self-reliant, self-confident, and self-accepting. 2. The person can become aware of the meanings of his actions through introspection. By this, the person's behavior is accessible to the consciousness. 3. A person's self-concept is similar to that which others have of the person. 4. The person can accept himself. 5. The person has sense of identity, that is, he knows who he is and at the same time has few doubts about it. 6. The person changes and grows throughout life. 7. The person acts in a unified manner, that is, his behavior is consistent throughout his life. But for William Glaser, he states that there are two needs that are fulfilled by the mentally healthy person. First, the need to love and be loved, and second, the need to feel that one is worthwhile to self and to others. A person fulfills these needs by doing that which is realistic, responsible, and right. Realistic behavior is that which the person chooses by reasoning and by considering the remote, as well as the immediate consequences of self and to others. Responsibility is the ability to fulfill personal needs and at the same time not deprive others of being able to fulfill their needs. On the whole, self-actualization is the essence of mental health or the apex of the fully developed personality. Concept of health, illness, wellness, and disease. Health is a changing, evolving concept. For centuries, the concept of disease was the yardstick by which health was measured. Until the late 19th century, the major concern of health professionals was the how of disease. Recently, there has been an increasing emphasis on health. President's Commission on Health Needs of the Nation, U.S. 1953, stated that health is not a condition, it is an adjustment. It is not a state, but a process. The process adapts the individual not only to our physical, but also to our social environment. Because health is such a complex concept, various researchers have developed modules and paradigms to explain health, and in some instances, its relationship to illness or injury. According to Claude Bernard, health is the ability to maintain the internal milieu. Illness is the result of failure to maintain the internal environment. According to Walter Cannon, health is the ability to maintain homeostasis or dynamic equilibrium. Homeostasis is regulated by the negative feedback mechanism. According to Nightingale, health is being well and using one's power to the fullest extent. Health is maintained through prevention of disease via environmental health factors. For Henderson, health is viewed in terms of the individual's ability to perform the 14 components of nursing care unaided. According to Rogers, positive health symbolizes wellness. It is a value term defined by the culture or individual. And according to Roy, health is a state and a process of being and becoming an integrated whole person. To Orem, health is a state characterized by soundness or wholeness of developed human structures and of bodily and mental functioning. For King, health is a dynamic state in the life cycle. Illness is interference in the life cycle. But to Johnson, health is an elusive, dynamic state influenced by biologic, psychological, and social factors. Health is reflected by the organization, interaction, interdependence, and integration of the subsystems of the behavioral system, support system. Lavelle and Clark's ecological model. This model of health is based on the relationship of humans to the environment. Three interactive elements that affect health and illness. The host, a person or group who may or may not be at risk of acquiring a disease or an illness. The agent, any factor or stressor in the environment that by its presence or absence can lead to illness or disease. The environment, extrinsic, may or may not predispose the person to the development of disease. Illness. Illness is a highly personal state in which the person feels unhealthy or ill. It may not be related to disease. A state of disturbance in the normal functioning individual, including both the organism as a biological system and of his person and social adjustment, according to Parson. Illness is a state in which a person's physical, emotional, intellectual, social development, or spiritual functioning is diminished or impaired compared with previous experience. Illness is also not synonymous with disease, although we must be familiar with different kinds of diseases and their treatments. They are concerned more with illness, which may include disease but also the effects on functioning and well-being in all dimensions. Illness behavior, any activity done by the client who feels ill to define the state of his health or find a suitable remedy. Sick role behavior is the activity undertaken by those who consider themselves ill for the purpose of getting well. Sickness is a status or social entity that is usually associated with disease or illness, but can occur independently of their three distinct criteria, like presence of symptoms, elevate temperature or pain, or B, perception on how they feel, if it's good, bad, or sick. And C, ability to carry daily activities like job, school, work. Disease, on the other hand, is an alteration in body structure and functions resulting in reduction of capacities or a shortening of lifespan. This may be lack of or faulty, inadequate adaptation of an organism to his environment, failure of the adaptive mechanism to adequately counteract the stimuli or stresses to which it is subject, resulting in disturbances in function and structure of any part, organ, or system of the body. The following are the common causes of disease: genetic or familial predisposition. 2. Environmental abnormalities during critical periods of gestation. 3. Biological agents like virus, bacteria, fungi, and the like. 4. Physical agents like extreme temperature, radiation, electricity, etc. 5. Chemical agents like alcohol, strong acid, industrial poisons. 7. Faulty chemistry in the production of antibodies, resulting to hypersensitivities or allergies. 8. Faulty chemical or metabolic processes like excessive or inadequate production of hormones or enzymes. And number 10, continued unabated stress. Risk factors: situations, habits, or other phenomenon that increases a person's vulnerability to illness or injury. The presence of risk factors does not mean that a disease will develop, but risk factors increase the chances that the individual will experience a particular dysfunction, like genetic makeup, age, physiological factors, lifestyle or health habit, environment. Wellness and well-being. Wellness is an active process of becoming aware of and making choices towards a higher level of well-being. Such choices are influenced by the individual's self-concept, culture, and environment. That is from Hitler. Wellness, according to Newman, is the condition in which all parts and subparts of an individual are in harmony with the whole system. Wellness is a way of life. Wellness is the integration of body, mind, and spirit. Wellness is the loving acceptance of oneself. According to Anspo et al., wellness is well-being. It involves engaging in attitudes and behaviors that enhance quality of life and maximize personal potential. Well-being is a subjective perception of balance, harmony, and vitality. Well-being occurs in levels. Dimensions of wellness: physical, the ability to carry out daily tasks, self-care, achieve fitness and maintain adequate nutrition, positive lifestyle habits. 2. Emotional, degree towards which a person feels positive about self and enthusiastic about life. Awareness, acceptance of one's feelings, coping effectively with stress. Social ability to interact successfully with people and within the environment, maintain intimacy with significant others, develop respect and tolerance, contribution to the welfare of human and the environment. 4. Environmental, the ability to promote health measures that improve the standard of living, and the quality of life in the community. Occupational, the ability to balance work and leisure time. Preparation for work that will promote personal satisfaction and enrichment of life. Intellectual, ability to learn and use information effectively for development, encourages stimulating and creative mental activities and the use of available community resources to expand one's knowledge and increase the potential for sharing with others. Spiritual, the belief in some force that strives to unite human beings, morals, values, and ethics. Health behaviors, actions people take to understand their health state, maintain an optimal state of health, prevent illness and injury, and reach their maximum potential both physically and mentally, like exercise, eating wisely. These are intended to prevent illness or disease or provide early detection of disease. Healthcare compliance, the extent to which a person's behavior coincides with a health practitioner's advice. Clients' compliance with healthcare advice is of concern to all health professionals. Factors affecting health behavior. 1. Individual perception. Modifying factors. Likelihood of actions. Cultural belief. Family. Self-concept. Support network. Geography. Health beliefs. Concepts about health that an individual believes is true. Some beliefs may or may not be bounded by a fact. Effects of hospitalization. Normal patterns of behavior generally changes with illness. With hospitalization, the change can even be greater. Hospitalization usually disrupts a person's privacy, autonomy, lifestyle, roles, and finances. Effects of illness on family members. A person's illness not only affects the one who is ill, but also the family or significant others. The kind of effect depends chiefly on three factors: member of the family who's sick, how serious and how long the illness is, cultural and social customs the family follows, changes that occur in the family, role changes, task reassignments, increased trust due to anxiety about the outcome of the illness for the client and the conflict about unaccustomed circumstances, financial problems, and change in social customs. Health status. It is a state of an individual at a given time: anxiety, depression, acute illness, body temperature. Factors affecting health status: internal and external. Genetic makeup, race, sex, age, development level, mind-body relationship, lifestyle, physical environment, standards of living. Precursor of illness. These are the factors which impinge on the individuals to lead towards the illness spectrum. A. Heredity, like family history for diabetes, mellitus, hypertension, or cancer. B. Behavioral factors like cigarette smoking, alcohol abuse, high animal fat intake. C. Environmental factors like overcrowding, poor sanitation, poor supply of potable power. Factors influencing definitions of health. 1. Developmental status. 2. Social and cultural influences. 3. Previous experiences of self. 4. Expectations of self. 5. Perception of self. Stages of illness, symptom experience, assumption of sick role, medical care contact, dependent patient role, recovery or rehabilitation. Characteristics of basic human needs. Needs are universal. Needs may be met in different ways. Needs may be stimulated by external and internal factors. Priorities may be altered. Needs may be deferred. Needs are interrelated. Basic human needs. Each individual has a unique characteristic, but certain needs are common to all people. A need is something that is desirable, useful, or necessary. Human needs are physiologic or psychological conditions that an individual must meet to achieve a state of health or well-being. Maslow ranks basic human needs according to what is crucial for survival. He avers that physiologic needs are to be given highest priorities over higher level need.